Listen, I'm about to save you from making the same $600 mistake I made last year. I bought what I thought was the best beginner drone, and within 3 weeks, I realized I'd chosen completely wrong for what I actually needed. That drone is now collecting dust on my shelf, and I'm out the cost of a round-trip flight to Tokyo. Here's the truth nobody tells you when you're buying your first drone in 2026. The most expensive option isn't always the right choice, the cheapest isn't always the best value, and the one with the most features might actually be the worst fit for your specific needs. I'm about to break down 3 DJI drones that represent completely different philosophies, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one belongs in your hands. But here's the thing, one of these drones has a critical flaw that DJI doesn't advertise, and if you skip ahead, you'll miss it. So stick with me, because the drone I'm about to recommend might actually surprise you. Personal credibility. Before we dive in, quick context. I've been flying drones for 7 years, I've owned 11 different models, and I've crashed enough of them to know exactly what beginners struggle with. I'm not here to recite spec sheets you can find on Amazon. I'm here to tell you what actually matters when you're standing in a field at 6 in the morning trying to capture that perfect sunrise shot, or when you're tracking your mountain bike down a trail and the drone loses you in the trees. This video is specifically for Canada and international markets, because as of January 2026, newer DJI drones aren't available in the US due to regulatory changes. If you're in the States, this information is still valuable for understanding the technology, but purchasing will require different approaches. Now we're comparing 3 drones today: the DJI Neo2 at $229, the DJI Flip at $420, and the Mini5 Pro at $769. That's a price spread of over $500, and I'm going to show you why each price point exists and which one delivers the most value for your specific situation. The promise. Here's what you're going to walk away with after watching this complete breakdown. First, you'll understand the exact use case for each drone so you're not paying for features you'll never touch. Second, you'll learn the real-world performance numbers, not the inflated marketing claims that DJI puts on the box. Third, I'm going to reveal the hidden costs that nobody talks about. Things like whether you need extra batteries, if the base controller is actually usable, and which accessories are absolute must-haves versus complete wastes of money. And here's the kicker. By the end, I'm going to tell you which drone I would buy if I were starting from scratch today, and it's probably not the one you're expecting. There's one model here that punches so far above its weight class that it makes the others look almost obsolete for certain users, but there's also one that seems like the obvious choice until you understand its fatal weakness for beginners. Framework introduction. Let's establish the framework. Think of these 3 drones as good, better, and best, but not in the way you think. The Neo2 is the adventure companion drone. It's designed for people who want a flying camera that can follow them without babysitting it. The Flip is the content creator's tool. It's for people who care about image quality but need something portable and versatile. And the Mini5 Pro is the professional's gateway drug. It's what you buy when you want cinematic results without spending $3,000 on a commercial-grade rig. The mistake most beginners make is thinking they should start with the cheapest option and upgrade later. That's how you end up spending more money in the long run. The smarter approach is understanding your actual use case from day one and buying the right tool immediately. So let me ask you this, and answer honestly. Are you buying a drone to capture memories of your outdoor adventures, to create content for social media or YouTube, or because you're genuinely interested in aerial cinematography as a craft? Your answer determines everything. Let's break down each option. Neo2 Real Story. The Neo2 is unlike any drone you've probably seen before, and that's exactly the point. At $229 for just the drone itself, or $399 for the combo with 3 batteries and a controller, this thing is designed around one radical idea. What if you could fly a drone without actually piloting it? Here's what makes it special. The Neo2 weighs less than a smartphone and launches directly from the palm of your hand. No controller needed. You can literally hold it in your hand, press a button on the drone itself, and it'll take off, track you, and follow you around while you're running, cycling, or skiing. It has full omnidirectional obstacle avoidance, which means it sees objects in every direction and actively navigates around them. I took this thing on a trail run last month through dense forest, and it threaded between trees like it had a mind of its own. The camera is a half-inch sensor, shooting 12-megapixel stills and 4K video at up to 60 frames per second, with slow-motion capability at 100 frames per second. The maximum bitrate is 50 megabits per second. second, which is totally fine for social media and YouTube. Now here's the catch. There's no SD card slot. You get 49 gigabytes of internal storage, which translates to about 2 hours of 4K footage. For most adventure use cases, that's actually plenty, because you're not filming continuously, you're capturing highlights. Let me tell you about the gesture controls, because this is where the Neo 2 either becomes magical or gimmicky depending on your perspective. You can hold out your hand and move it up, down, left, or right, and the drone responds in real time. Sounds like a party trick, right? Except when you're mid-activity and can't pull out your phone, it's genuinely useful. I was snowboarding and wanted to adjust the drone's height without stopping, and I just raised my hand. The drone climbed 20 feet. That's the kind of thoughtful design that makes this thing feel like it's from the future. Battery life is the reality check, though. DJI claims 19 minutes, but in real-world testing with a static hover, I got 15 minutes before it forced a landing. In active tracking with wind, you're looking at closer to 12 minutes. That's why the 3-battery combo is almost essential if you're serious about using this. Each battery takes about 50 minutes to charge, so you'll want that rotation going. The 6 control methods are actually 6: hand gestures, smartphone app, voice commands through your phone, the built-in screen and buttons on the drone, a radio controller, and compatibility with DJI goggles and motion controllers. That versatility means you can start simple and expand your control options as you get more comfortable. So, who is the Neo 2 actually for? If you're an outdoor enthusiast who wants a drone that can keep up with fast-moving activities without requiring you to become a pilot, this is your answer. If you're a vlogger who needs B-roll of yourself and doesn't want to hire a camera operator, this delivers incredible value. If you're a parent who wants to capture your kids' soccer games or dance recitals from unique angles, the tracking and obstacle avoidance make it almost foolproof. But here's who it's not for: anyone who cares deeply about image quality, anyone who wants manual control over camera settings, or anyone who needs extended flight times for landscape or real estate work. The Neo 2 is a specialist tool, and if your needs fall outside its specialty, you'll be frustrated by its limitations, which brings us to the middle option that tries to do everything. Flip real story. The DJI Flip is what happens when a company tries to thread the needle between portability and performance. And honestly, they mostly succeeded. At $420 with the controller, you're getting a drone that costs almost double the Neo 2 but delivers way more than double the capability in certain areas. The headline feature is right in the name. This thing flips. The arms fold inward in this really clever origami-style design, and when it's collapsed, it's genuinely pocketable if you're wearing cargo pants or a jacket with big pockets. When deployed, though, it's a proper drone with serious capabilities. This dual personality is perfect for travelers, hikers, or anyone who needs to pack light but doesn't want to sacrifice video quality. The camera is where you see your money at work. We're talking about a 1/1.3-inch sensor with 48 megapixels native resolution. That larger sensor means better low-light performance and more detailed oversampled 4K footage at 60 frames per second. You can also shoot slow motion at 100 frames per second in 4K, and the bitrate jumps to 100 megabits per second, double what the Neo 2 can manage. More importantly, you get 10-bit color depth with D-Log color profile support, which is industry speak for you can actually color grade this footage in post-production and it won't fall apart. I spent 2 weeks testing the Flip in Iceland, shooting everything from waterfalls to coastal cliffs, and the image quality genuinely impressed me. The colors are rich, the dynamic range handles bright skies and dark landscapes without blowing out, and the footage holds up on a 4K monitor with professional editing. For content creators who are serious about YouTube, Instagram, or client work, this is the minimum threshold where your drone footage won't look noticeably worse than your ground camera. But here's the weird thing. DJI made a strange decision with obstacle avoidance. The Flip has visual braking, which means if it detects an obstacle in front, it stops. But unlike the Neo 2, it doesn't actively navigate around obstacles. It just hovers there waiting for you to manually redirect it. For experienced pilots, this isn't a big deal. For beginners who are used to the Neo 2's intelligence, it feels like a downgrade despite this being the more expensive drone. Battery life tells a similar story of compromise. DJI claims 31 minutes, but in real-world testing, I got 23 minutes of actual flight time before the battery warning forced me to land. That's better than the Neo 2, obviously, but still not quite enough for those epic one-take shots without careful planning. The Flip occupies this really interesting intriguing middle ground. It's too expensive to be an impulse purchase, but it's affordable enough that hobbyists and serious content creators can justify it. It's portable enough for daily carry, but not quite as grab-and-go as the Neo2. The image quality is genuinely professional, but not quite at the level of the Mini5 Pro. Here's who should buy the Flip: travel content creators who need broadcast-quality footage in a portable package, real estate agents who want that professional look without professional prices, and drone enthusiasts who want room to grow into manual controls and creative shooting. If you know you'll be editing your footage and care about color grading, shadow recovery, and that cinematic look, the Flip justifies its price tag. But if you're just posting to Instagram stories, you're paying for capabilities you'll never use. Mini5 Pro real story. Now we get to the heavyweight champion, the Mini5 Pro at $769. This is currently on sale, by the way. The regular price is higher. So if you're considering this one, now is actually the time to move. But before you think this is just an expensive toy, let me put this in perspective. The Mini5 Pro competes with drones that cost $3,000 to $4,000 from other manufacturers. We're talking about a 1-inch sensor with 50 megapixel resolution, the same sensor size you find in professional cameras that cost over $1,000 on their own. That 1-inch sensor isn't just a bigger number on a spec sheet. It means dramatically better low-light performance, greater dynamic range so your sunsets don't blow out and your shadows aren't crushed into black, and even a subtle depth of field effect when your subject is close to the camera. The footage coming out of this thing is legitimately cinematic. We're talking 4K video at up to 120 frames per second for buttery smooth slow motion, with bit rates that preserve every detail for professional editing workflows. But here's where it gets really interesting: the gimbal system. Most small drones have a 2-axis or limited 3-axis gimbal. The Mini5 Pro has a gimbal that physically rotates the entire camera 90 degrees for full-length vertical video without cropping. If you're creating content for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts, this is massive because you're using the full sensor, not just cropping a horizontal shot. The gimbal also rotates up to 225 degrees, which means you can get those sweeping FPV-style shots that look like scenes from action movies, except smooth and controlled. The flight performance separates the Mini5 Pro from everything else in this comparison. Because it doesn't have propeller guards and uses significantly more powerful motors, it's incredibly stable in windy conditions. I flew this in 20-mile-per-hour winds on a coastal shoot, and the footage looked like it was shot on a dead calm day. Those micro jitters and vibrations you see with smaller drones, especially on big screens or projectors, are completely absent. For professional applications, weddings, real estate luxury listings, corporate videos, that stability is non-negotiable. The tracking system is also in a different league. The Mini5 Pro can track subjects moving up to 15 meters per second, which is about 54 kilometers per hour. That means you can track cars, motorcycles, boats, or fast cyclists without losing lock. It has 360-degree obstacle avoidance with advanced computer vision. So even in complex environments with trees, buildings, and moving objects, it maintains tracking and avoids collisions at much higher speeds than the Neo2. Communication range maxes out at 20 kilometers with the RC controller. In practical terms, you'll never hit that limit because of visual line-of-sight regulations. But what it really means is rock-solid connection with zero dropout, even at long distances or in areas with radio interference. Battery life is where the Mini5 Pro pulls ahead. DJI claims 36 minutes with the standard battery and 52 minutes with the extended intelligent battery. Based on testing patterns with DJI's claims, realistic flight times are probably around 26 to 28 minutes standard and 38 to 42 minutes extended. That extended battery option is huge for professional work, where you need to capture entire events or lengthy shots without swapping batteries mid-flight. So, who needs the Mini5 Pro? Professional content creators, serious hobbyists, who are invested in aerial cinematography as a craft, and anyone who needs footage that can be displayed on large screens without looking amateurish. If you're shooting for clients, if you're building a YouTube channel around high-quality production, or if you just refuse to compromise on image quality, this is the drone that won't limit your creative vision. But here's the honest truth. If you're a casual user who just wants cool shots for personal memories, this is overkill, and you'll never recoup the investment in actual usage. Decision framework. All right, decision time. Let me give you the framework that makes this choice simple. Ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. What's my primary use case? If the answer is action sports, vlogging yourself, or hands-free operation, the Neo2 wins because it's designed exactly for that. If the answer is travel content, real estate, or creative projects where you'll edit the footage, the Flip is your sweet spot. If the answer is professional work, large screen display, or maximum creative control, only the Mini5 Pro will satisfy you. Question 2. What's my skill level and patience for learning? The Neo2 requires almost no piloting skill. It literally flies itself. The Flip assumes you'll learn basic controls, but makes it easy. The Mini5 Pro is designed for enthusiasts who want to master flying and camera work. Be honest about whether you'll invest the time to learn. Question 3. What's my realistic budget, including accessories? The Neo2 looks cheap until you add 3 batteries and the controller, which brings it to $400. The Flip at $420 is fairly complete. The Mini5 Pro at $770 is just the start. You'll want extra batteries, ND filters, and probably a bigger carrying case. Total investment could hit $1,000. Can you justify that? Common mistakes here are the 3 biggest mistakes I see beginners make. Mistake 1. Buying the cheapest option to test if they like drones, then upgrading 3 months later and eating the depreciation. If you know you're serious, buy the right tool from day 1. Mistake 2. Buying the most expensive option because they assume more money equals better results, then getting overwhelmed by complexity and never using half the features. The Mini5 Pro is wasted on someone who just wants to film their dog at the park. Mistake 3. Ignoring battery life and buying only 1 extra battery. Across all 3 drones, you need at least 3 batteries minimum for a satisfying experience. Budget for that upfront. Here's my actual recommendation if I were starting fresh today. If I only fly occasionally for fun, I'm buying the Neo2 combo and never looking back. If I create content regularly, the Flip gives me professional results without professional headaches. If I'm building a business or serious about cinematography, the Mini5 Pro is the only choice that won't frustrate me 6 months from now. The closer. Remember that $600 mistake I mentioned at the start? I bought a mid-tier drone that was too advanced for my skill level, but not professional enough for the work I actually ended up doing. I should have either bought the simplest option or saved longer for the Pro model. Don't be me. Here's what I need from you. Drop a comment right now telling me which drone you're leaning toward and why. I'll personally respond with specific tips for your situation and any hidden costs you should know about. Seriously, I read every comment in the first 48 hours, and if this breakdown saved you from a costly mistake, hit that like button so YouTube shows this to other people who need it. Subscribe if you want more honest gear reviews without the BS. One last thing, prices fluctuate constantly, especially with DJI. I've linked all 3 drones in the description with real-time pricing so you can check current deals. The Mini5 Pro specifically goes on sale randomly, so if you see a price drop, that's your signal to move. Now go make something awesome, and whatever you do, practice in an open field before you try flying through your neighbor's backyard. Trust me on that one.